welcome here as we prepare ourselves for race number 17 of the season for the NNSCRA Pizza Hut X Series. Continuing our race weekend here at the road course in New York, known as Watkins Glen International, getting set for 18 laps of racing. Yesterday we had a very interesting, and it got really interesting down to the closing stages of the Hershey's Cup Series non-charter race, and today we're going to get 18 laps of racing. Again, caution-free as it was yesterday. These drivers will not have the benefit of a yellow flag waving and bunching everybody back up. And we saw that definitely played a huge factor into yesterday's race in the non-charter event, with the fact that basically the drivers that were up at the front stayed up at the front. Drivers that started in the middle of the pack near the rear, they had a really difficult time not only trying to get themselves up into the top 15, up into the top 10, but also trying to maneuver their way through a number of wrecks that took place, a couple of trouble spots, especially through the bus stop and off the final corner here, leading onto the front straightaway. Also saw a pretty big wreck, a pretty violent wreck going on there in the S's as well. So every bit of this racetrack is a precarious area for these drivers, and we'll see what the precarious spots will be here today as we go down trackside to get the command.
Drivers, start your engines!
There's the command to fire them up as we will get ready to turn them loose. 18 laps of racing here today as stated, which means that this race will be split into 3 stages, which will comprise of 6 laps apiece. So the completion of lap 6 is the end of stage 1, completion of lap 12 the end of stage 2, and the checkered flag at the completion of lap 18 is the end of the 3rd and final stage. Nicholas Romero lines up on the pole for this one. Romero is one of 2 drivers, or make that 3 drivers, that's inside the top 10 in the points that does not yet have a trip to victory lane, the other 2 being P.J. Williams and the defending champion Benny Watson. Romero comes into this race 7th in the point standings. He has 6 top 10 finishes, no finishes inside the top 5 yet, and he's got himself the pole position here today, which is actually his first of the season. Alongside of him is Christian Merrick Jr. in the 20. Christian Merrick Jr. going to victory lane for the first time in his career back at Talladega Superspeedway. This is certainly a far cry from a restrictor plate track, but Merrick Jr. going to try and pick up his 2nd win, tie himself with J Gilbert and Joshua Osborne for most wins this season, try to get himself into the chase for the championship, get him locked in, because after this race, I think I've been saying over and over again, you know, these drivers have 11 races left, they have 10 races left. I'm actually wrong at what I'm saying that. We are running 26 regular season races for the Hershey's Cup Series, but only 20 regular season races for the Pizza Hut X Series. So after today, there's only 3 more races left until we comprise up the 12 drivers that will battle for the championship this year. So time is running out for these Pizza Hut X Series drivers. Right now, the chase would be comprised at the current moment of Joshua Osborne, J Gilbert. They are currently the only drivers with 2 wins. Jesse Turner, Eli Bright, Cole Deaver, James Shelley, Jordan Lopez, Daniel Voyles, Ace Garcia, and Charlie Buxton right now would be your top 10. And then Christian Merrick Jr. and James Qualls would have the final spot in the chase for the championship if the season were to end right now. And those all are drivers who have been to victory lane this season. So right now, we have 12 race winners inside the top 30 in the points, which means drivers that are in the top 10 in the points without a win, they would still not make the chase for the championship. We'll have to see what takes place in the course of this one here today, though. As Charlie Buxton went to victory lane a couple of weeks ago, back at last week's race at Springfield. That was the first win of the season for Junior Motorsports. Nicholas Romero trying to become the 2nd. As here we go, 18 laps of racing, caution-free here today at Watkins Glen. Chevrolet Toyota on the front row, and the flagman will get us underway here at the Glen. And Nicholas Romero did not get a good jump. Christian Merrick Jr. did, and he will clear Nicholas Romero for the top position going down into 1. Brilliant cameramen here and editing crew at the NNSCRA Sports Channel will be bringing you all the coverage that take place during this race, mid-pack on back, with the courtesy of our NNSCRA Split Cam. As Christian Merrick Jr. is gone, the battle's going to be for 2nd. Nicholas Romero has A Baranauskas all over his back bumper. Boy, they got really squirrely going through that corner. Different drivers, different lanes. Charlie Buxton there now into the 5th position, trying to hold off Carson Gum and Kyle Thomas. Meanwhile, Nicholas Romero still has that challenge for the second spot. Baranauskas still on his back bumper. Baranauskas going to drive it down to the inside, going to this corner. Not going to be able to quite get there. Had to lift a little bit, and that's going to allow Romero to hang on to the runner-up spot, at least for the moment. Whoa, Baranauskas squirrely sliding off that corner. A couple of other drivers. One car getting into the wall. I think that was J Cesar in the 87, but he keeps it straight. Jesse Turner also took that turn rather wide. Now, it's kind of uncanny when we come to these road courses how a lot of times we see drivers who do well at super speedways do well at road courses, and you think to yourself, how is that possible? As it looks like we had another incident here through the S's. Second time we've had a wreck in the S's this weekend. And, of course, our guys at NNSCRA Studios is going to be giving you the scoop on what just happened there through the S's via the NNSCRA split cam as the battle for second is on and done. Baranauskas moves the 2 to P2. And now the battle's on for third between teammates. Last week's winner, Charlie Buxton, looking to go 2 in a row, trying to get around his teammate in the 5, the pole sitter, Nicholas Romero. And he's going to be able to get to the inside, and now it will be the outside when he gets to the final corner here. Looks like Romero realized that Charlie Buxton a little bit better than him, and he actually gave his teammate the spot as Ace Garcia into the wall there off the final corner. And Nicholas Romero, his troubles continue. Here comes Carson Gum to the inside line. That's for the 4th spot. Carson Gum in the point standings. You know, the one thing that I mentioned as far as the 12 drivers right now that would be in the chase if the season were to end now, but you put into the factor that J Qualls, with his win a couple of weeks ago at Arizona, he is still working his way up through the point standings, but he's 26th in points. There are about roughly another 15, 16 drivers ahead of him in the point standings. If they win here today, they'd be ahead of him in the points. So, J Qualls needs another good run here to keep fighting his way up through the point standings, to not fall into that situation where if somebody finishes in victory lane that's ahead of him in the point standings, then he doesn't get into the chase for the championship. I just saw him back there. Looks like he's running somewhere around maybe the 20th position as the battle for the lead may be on. Under Baranauskas, all over the back bumper of Christian Merrick Jr. coming to the completion of lap number 3. Jonathan Zoerlein leaving the pit lane there in the 17. I saw a couple of other drivers on pit road. One might have been the 22 of J Gilbert. Couldn't tell. Just a pixel there on my screen, and I saw it was a white machine, and I'm just assuming it was the 22. Doesn't necessarily mean it was. Just an educated guess. Baranauskas lost a little bit of ground there through the first few corners to Christian Merrick Jr., and actually, while she is riding behind Christian Merrick Jr., Charlie Buxton is closing up the gap. That battle for second may actually be the one heating up rather than the battle for the race lead. Buxton, oh, wait a minute. Baranauskas got through the carousel really well. Gets a big run here on Christian Merrick Jr. Trying to drive to the outside, can't do it. May swing low, sticks a nose in there, and is going to get to the left rear. Side by side, Baranauskas and Christian Merrick Jr. Baranauskas powers around the outside line. New leader, the 2 car. And now Charlie Buxton going to try to the inside, going here in the 1. Going to try and outbrake Christian Merrick Jr. and move into the 2nd position. Drives it in deep, maybe a little contact, little rubbing doors. They remain side by side out of turn 1. Ooh, easy there. Can't bump doors here through the S's. Still side by side between these two. These two might have to take this battle down to the bus stop. Well, maybe not. Oh, I thought maybe Buxton was clear. Not quite. Merrick Jr. battles back, and that allows Carson Gum to enter in on this battle. And Merrick Jr. will use the outside line with a better exit through the bus stop to get the spot back. Here comes Charlie Buxton, though, driving it deep through the carousel, back alongside. Great battling for this 2nd position. Carson Gum's got the best seat in the house watching this battle, which has gone on for nearly a complete lap side by side between the number 20 Toyota, the number 7 Chevrolet, and now Merrick Jr. will keep the spot there, finally out of the final corner. But what a battle, and it may not be over. They may do it again here on this lap. Meanwhile, Under Baranauskas also getting a very good seat of this battle. that battle gets smaller and smaller in her rearview mirror as she has checked out. Now it looks like second place will be firmly in control, in possession of the Hisense Toyota Camry out of Joe Gibbs Race of Christian Merrick Jr. Charlie Buxton now back into third with Carson Gum riding there in fourth. These three may end up putting their differences aside to try and create a common goal of running down under Baranauskas, whose teammate Colby Jackson up there now battling for the fifth position with Nicholas Romero. Not going to be able to take the spot as Romero gets the better exit off the bus stop. One thing I've noticed about the bus stop is a lot of drivers try getting to the inside line to be able to make moves, and it just doesn't seem to work out for them as far as the exit off the corner. They kind of get a little bit of the grass just off the exit of the bus stop, and that causes their tires to spin, and they don't get enough room to be able to complete the passes. Baranauskas is going to be encountering traffic here. That is N Daleo in the 12. Another car just up ahead as well that Baranauskas will have to deal with momentarily. Whoa! Daleo not giving Baranauskas a heck of a lot of room as the battle's on for third back there. Carson Gum has gotten to the inside of Charlie Buxton and will complete the pass before we even get to the S's. So move Carson Gum to the third spot. Matthew Daleo now a lap machine between Baranauskas and Christian Merrick Jr., and that's the 93 of Alexander Rowe up ahead, damaged and off the pace, that Baranauskas would be catching next. Baranauskas got around Matthew Daleo pretty well. Let's see how Christian Merrick Jr. does. That battle for third place is back again. Charlie Buxton says, "Not so fast, Mr. Gum. I want that position back." And that's going to carry down here into the final corners. Christian Merrick Jr. trapped behind the 12 car here through the final corners. Thought about diving to the inside there through the final turn. Can't do it now. Maybe we'll be able to set Daleo up heading here into one, and that looks like that's going to be the case. Buxton will get the third position back from Carson Gum as those two now get in single file and will have to prepare themselves to now maneuver their way around the snap-on Ford Mustang. This battling's going on. A couple of drivers back here that have worked their way up towards the front. Benny Watson there in the 8 car. We talked about him being one of 3 drivers coming to this race that doesn't have a trip to victory lane yet. Well, Chick-fil-A Chevrolet running right now in the 9th position. Watson came into this race 9th in the point standings. Jump back and you'll find the points leader, Jesse Turner, actually battling with James Qualls. Turner, the points leader coming to this race, 25 points over Eli Bright. We haven't really seen the 05 up here at the front, so Turner continuing to grow his points lead as this race continues on, and there's James Qualls just up ahead. Qualls last time by was scored in the 15th position. He just took 14th away from Jesse Turner. So like I said, James Qualls just trying to be consistent now. He's already found victory lane a couple of weeks ago at Arizona, so now he's just trying to be consistent, get good finishes, and get himself up in the point standings, so that way that win can count towards a chase spot. He's already completed 2 of his goals this season. 1, go to victory lane, 2, get back into the top 30 in the points. He's 26th in the standings coming into this race, so now if he can just continue the climb up through the point standings, get himself at least within the vicinity of some other drivers that have 1 win this season, find himself in pretty good shape. Old Beaver and D Voyles, a couple of other drivers who have been to victory lane this season. They're scored right now in the 12th and 13th positions. A good run for them. Voyles 8th in the stands coming to this race. Cole Deaver 3rd in the points, and they are going to go side by side here through the bus stop for position. Cole Deaver actually completes a pass on the inside line. Kyle Lynch there in the 15 now. These 3 drivers ahead of him, they have a win, and they're inside the top 30 in the points. Kyle Lynch, on the other hand, he has a win this season at the season opener at Daytona, but he is 37th in the point standings. He and Stuart Gratton both outside of the top 10 in the top 30 in the point standings, I should say, coming into this race, which means with where they're running, their win would not count towards a spot in the chase for the championship. Back up to the front. Whoa, 3 wide into turn 1. Benny Watson on the outside of 2 Penske Fords. J Gilbert using Daleo as a pick, and a little contact there between Daleo and Watson. These 2 guys know each other very well. Trouble! Alexander Rowe, Charlie Buxton, Daleo is involved, and oh my goodness, this is stacking everybody up. Daniel Voyles got a piece of it. Qualls might have gotten a piece of it. J Gilbert is involved. But again, no cautions to bunch everybody back up. Baranauskas almost 3.5 seconds in hand over second place. C Merrick Jr. Charlie Buxton was in third place at the time when that wreck happened. Now it goes to Carson Gum. Colby Jackson moves up to fourth, and the battle's on for fifth between Kyle Thomas and Tony Green. So Charlie Buxton, who looked like he was en route to a good run today, well, that just went up in smoke. It looked like he's going to be retiring from the race as well. There was quite a bit of smoke coming out from underneath the Tax Slayer Chevrolet's hood. Under Baranauskas trying to get around C Dollerton, who I believe is on the tail end of the lead lap, scored in the 35th position. Yeah, so far out of the race, the cars of Jacob Rose, Eli Bright, who came in second in the point standings, PJ Williams, who came into this race, I believe was fifth in points, and Nick Johnson also out of the race. They'll be joined momentarily by Charlie Buxton, maybe a couple of others. There's smoke up ahead. I'll bet that's probably the 7. He had to, oh no, that's the 7 right there. They just went by Charlie Buxton, who's trying to limp it back to pit road. I don't know who it was up ahead then that has that plume of smoke. Oh, that's Matthew Daleo in the 12 car. He's going to come to pit road. Looks like the day is over for the driver who went to victory lane 3 times last season. Nicholas Romero's on pit road, the pole sitter. So both junior motorsports cars, the 5 and the 7, were involved, and their days may be over. The pole sitter there, Nicholas Romero, pulling to pit road. J Gilbert was up inside the top 10. Richardson will now go off the lead lap to Baranauskas, who now has Quentin Moore just ahead of her. But while Baranauskas is dealing with the traffic here, at the same time, she is gaining ground on second place, C Merrick Jr. Whoa! Quentin Moore almost getting into Baranauskas' right rear, and oh boy. This is, I think, a battle for position between the 89, 6, and 43. And if they keep racing it up, that's going to be a hornet's nest for C Merrick Jr. to have to try and get through. Richardson gets around. No, he doesn't. Still side by side between these guys. And we've got another car coming down. That's Charlie Buxton. He has still not been able to make his way onto the pit lane. That car literally crawling to pit road. We're going to follow back here the second place car of C Merrick Jr., who is a little less than 3 seconds back from Under Baranauskas. The reason being, this gaggle of cars, he's got to make his way through up ahead here before he can try setting his sights on reeling in the leader. Coming up through the bus stop here. Let's see what he's going to do. Which way is he going to go? Is he going to go high? Is he going to go low? He's going to try getting by all of them here through the bus stop, and didn't get by any of them. He got walled in, boxed in through the bus stop. Now going to unceremoniously make some contact there with James Richardson, moves him up the track, and now looks like he's going to try and go around the outside of Quentin Moore. Not going to be able to do it yet. Had to lift a little there through the final turn. Now drives it in deep. Still having trouble getting around this traffic. Now clears Quentin Moore, but now he's going to have to deal with 43 of C Dollerton, and he lost a heck of a lot more ground to that 2 car. Now Carson Gum, currently in fourth, or make that third, gets around Richardson. Now we'll try and get around Quentin Moore. Got around the 6 car a lot better than C Merrick Jr. did, and we may end up having Carson Gum and C Merrick Jr. battling for second a lot sooner than we have C Merrick Jr. battling with Under Baranauskas for the race lead. Next car Baranauskas would encounter is 2-time winner Joshua Osborne, coming into this race 10th in the points. Still a ways ahead, though. It'll be 4 laps to go when Baranauskas hit the stripe next time. Under Baranauskas, you know, we're talking about James Qualls, 26th in points. Well, Baranauskas, if Baranauskas closes the deal, goes to victory lane, Baranauskas comes into this race 28th in the point standings. So Baranauskas would be able to make it a bit of a fight as well to try and get into the chase for the championship. But now, this is what I was wondering about. Would we have to have pit stops here, And the answer is yes. Baranauskas to pit road. Christian Merrick Jr. is in. This race may come down to pit strategy. Carson Gum hits the pit lane. Colby Jackson is in. Kyle Thomas is in, but Tony Green will stay out an extra lap in the Lucas Oil number 85 Chevrolet. He doesn't lead that lap. Baranauskas still led that lap on pit road, but Tony Green decides that he will stay out an extra lap. We'll have to see if that strategy helps him out. Stuart Gratton just completed his service. He's off pit road. I don't know if anybody else decided to stay out or not. Looks like Ace Garcia might have, along with 88 of Ryan Brommer. Baranauskas has completed her service. She is already out. Way ahead of Christian Merrick Jr. now off pit road. Kyle Thomas came off pit road ahead of Carson Gum. So if things cycle around, Thomas would be up to third. Gum would be back to fourth. Question being, though, where would Tony Green after pit stop cycle around in? And he's going to come to pit road this time. He had about maybe a third of the racetrack over under Baranauskas, who had fresher rubber there when she came back onto the racetrack, so they're going to have to make a really fast pit stop for Tony Green. I don't think they can do it. Baranauskas is just now coming off the final corner. So Baranauskas will cycle back to the race lead. Tony Green, however, did manage to lead that lap, so he'll get a bonus point at least for a lap led. But Baranauskas, with 3 laps to go, back out in front. The gap between herself and Christian Merrick Jr., how large is it going to be? Maybe upwards to 9 seconds. Baranauskas, or make that Merrick Jr. hasn't crossed the line yet, I don't think. Oh no, now he has. And according to the scoring monitor, it was about 11-second separation between the 2 and the 20. Well, actually now, it's between the 2 and the 48, because Kyle Thomas just took the second position away from Christian Merrick Jr. Merrick wants it back. Tony Green came out in 4th, just ahead of Carson Gum. So Carson Gum would be the last driver in the top 5, with Colby Jackson now in 6th. Kyle Thomas to position 2, but they are a long ways back from under Baranauskas, who's only got 2 more circuits left to make for the 2 car. At the line, 2 laps to go. Let's see what the gap is between Baranauskas and now second place car Kyle Thomas. I would say somewhere around maybe 10 seconds, maybe more. 11 and a half. Baranauskas, ever since taking the lead, has dominated, has not looked back, has turned really good lap times, and team got it done on pit road as well. Best battle maybe for 3rd place. Christian Merrick Jr. slipping back now into the clutches of Tony Green, who has 1 lap fresher tires than Merrick Jr. does. If these guys continue to battle, then that'll bring Carson Gum into the picture. Like that time, Merrick Jr. and Tony Green kind of ran an identical line through the bus stop. But we got to jump up now as this battle continues on. We will jump up to the race leader, under Baranauskas. Off the final corner, we'll see the white flag here at the Glen. Joshua Osborne just ahead in the 70 car, I believe, is on the tail end of the lead lap. He's in 35th position. Make that 31st position. And if I'm Baranauskas, I'm just going to let that 70 car ride ahead of me. You got over an 11.5-second lead. Only 1 car ahead that's traffic. On the tail end of the lead lap. Why bother battling? But Baranauskas trying to make a statement here. Trying to put a 2-time winner a lap down. Oh, watch out. Now, smart move there by Baranauskas. Gives way. Didn't realize she didn't have the preferred exit off the bus stop. That's Osborne back on by. Well, Baranauskas could coast to the line from here and probably still win the race. You can't even see second place in that shot. As through the final corner, Baranauskas actually going to get around Joshua Osborne coming to the line here, it looks like. Well, maybe not. Drag race here. Whoa, look out as Baranauskas dominates here today and will take her first checkered flag of her career in the Pizza Hut X Series, winning at the Glen. Kyle Thomas brings it home in second. Third place for Christian Merrick Jr., Tony Green fourth, and Carson Gum will complete today's top 5. Baranauskas came into this race 28th in the point standings. She will undoubtedly jump up a number of spots in the points, and she will also have a 1 in the win column. And as things stand right now, things could be very interesting in the upcoming weeks between herself and James Qualls for potentially the final spot in this season's chase for the Pizza Hut X Series Championship. And that is saying that we don't have a couple more first-time winners in the final 3 races of the regular season. Session should be complete here, I think, unless they're waiting for the 70 of Osborne to cross the line, which apparently they are doing. And now he has crossed the line, so the session is now official. Baranauskas picks up her first win of the year. Kyle Thomas brings it home second. He cut the lead down there that last lap, but was over 10 seconds back. Nothing he could do in terms of battling for the win. Christian Merrick Jr. will finish third with Tony Green and Carson Gum, your top 5. Sixth place for Colby Jackson. Benny Watson still trying to find victory lane, but he gets another top 10 run in 7th. James Qualls, he will jump up even more in the point stands with a top 10 run in 8th. R Brommer will finish in 9th with Joseph Romero in 10th. So Brommer with some pit strategy there. Great run for him in the top 10. Cole Deaver comes home 11th. Wade Brummer in the 12th position. Ralph Mason making his second start of the season brings the 99 home in 13th. Noah Pontzer in 14th with Pichu London in 15th. Rest of your top 20 were Elijah Gilbert, Ace Garcia, Julio Cesar, Jordan Lopez, and the points leader coming into this race, Jesse Turner, who will, I believe, still keep the points lead, but I think the driver that may, well, I don't know for certain, but Cole Deaver is going to move pretty close into a battle for second in the point stands with Eli Bright after this one, I have a feeling, because Eli Bright finished out of the race along with a number of other drivers, including Nicholas Romero, John Gilbert, last week's winner Charlie Buxton, Matthew Daleo, Alexander Rowe, Nick Johnson, PJ Williams, and Jacob Rose. So that does it here today from the Glen for the Pizza Hut X Series race. 3 races remain till we determine the 12 drivers that will be in this season's Pizza Hut X Series chase for the championship. You're not going to want to miss those upcoming races. They could be very interesting points-wise and win-wise. It could be really close coming down to the closing stages of the regular season. But tomorrow we're going to be having our next race of the Hershey's Cup Series Charter Series, where we will have 23 laps of racing here at the Glen. And I'll tell you what, it's getting very interesting as far as who's getting the slots in the chase for the championship over in that series as well. Thank you all for tuning in to today's race. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give us a like and subscribe to become part of the crew today. We've shown your full fissure results. These are your point standings heading into next week. As a matter of fact, I shouldn't say next week, because next week it's an off week for the Pizza Hut X Series. Because after tomorrow's Hershey's Cup Series race here at the Glen, it's only the Hershey's Cup Series charter racing the following week when we go to yet another road course. It's coming back to the schedule. We're going back to Thornton. Hope you'll be tuned in for those upcoming races. Thanks for tuning in today. We will see you guys next time as you've been watching production of the NCRA Offline Racing at its best.